This is Fling Smash, one of the absolute worst speedrunning games there is because 95% of it is an auto-scroller, as you can kind of see in this cutscene here. Alright, so do we have a, or who won the bid war between Pip and Zip?
Oh, let me check. I believe it's Pip, but let's see. View campaign. Yes, it's Pip. Nobody donated for Zip.
Okay. Well, Zip was the male character, Pip is the female character. Default is Zip, but we'll have to change that right after the tutorial. Time starts when I select which hand I'm going to be using. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So there's about 3.5 minutes of cutscene here. Just kind of open it up. So, Bitsy, do you want to read any of the things in the prologue?
Yeah, so essentially this game is on the island of Suthen. The power from Suthen is coming from this giant palm tree, and apparently the big bad evil guy is like, you know what, I want this power. So he's gonna go send all of his little baddies to go take all of the power, and we have to go in and defeat them and save the day.
So this big bad evil guy, his name is Ominous, and it's one of the few characters that actually has a name. We've got Pip, Zip, Ominous, the King, May, April, and June, I think.
And Hydrocoil.
And Hydrocoil. We'll see.
Come in a little later.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't see him at all.
So the king's upset that his princess is sick, and he believes it has to do with the great palm tree withering. And so he's like, okay, back in the days of old, this same thing happened, and we needed to have this hero save the day with these 8 pearls. Which, by the way, I'll be collecting 24, because for some reason, we need 1 pearl from each level. There are 24 levels, 3 per world, and I guess the 3 pearls from each world kind of morph into 1 powerful pearl or something. We're not entirely sure.
Clearly gave the hero from back in the day arms and legs, because we will be having little stumpy legs.
Well, that was probably just a depiction of how heroic he was. But we'll see how heroic he actually looks.
I'm really getting King Friday vibes from the king here, though. But it is not a wonderful day in this neighborhood.
King's a little worried. I mean, what would you expect if you put someone in a locked chest for how many years? I mean, for someone who's done that, he looks great.
Right? Pac-Man with the ponytail shall save the day.
Hey, he's awake now. And now he grew arms and legs. So here is Ominous. He is quite ominous. This is the World 1...
on the nose there.
This is the World 1 boss. We'll be facing him after we complete the first 3 levels. Basically, what Ominous is saying here to the first boss is go send out blocks, slow down the hero.
We like to name him Huff and Puff.
Yeah,
Because I'm... Yeah.
these bosses do not have actual names. The only one that has one is Ominous. So I just kind of gave my own names to them. So this is the tutorial. Basically just swing the remote. You don't have to swing hard. If you time it right, you get one of those powerful shots. This is the Hydra Coil. He's the same one as in the Legend. If you get too close to the right side of the screen or in the vertical levels, if you get too close to the bottom, he'll try eating you. So these green blocks, they can be broken just with one hit. So like right there, with a regular hit, you break through them, you fly through them. With just a soft hit like that, you'll just bounce right off of them, but still break them. There are blue blocks, and they can only be broken with a power shot. So I'm just kind of waiting for this tutorial to end. Alright, so I need a power shot to go through these. And that's how I will be finishing levels. Alright, now I believe I get to choose my hero. And you said Pip is the winner?
That's right. Pip is the winner. Nobody donated any money for Zip.
If I remember correctly, that was $4.20 for Pip.
Precisely.
Alright, so this actually loses a bit of time because Pip has to fly over from a neighboring island. Otherwise, if we pick Zip, we don't have to see this cutscene.
One interesting thing about this game, from a technical standpoint, is it was announced during the same E3 conference that the Wii Motion Plus was announced, and it is one of the first games developed with the Wii Motion Plus.
That's true. When they sold it in stores, it came with a Wii Motion Plus Wiimote.
I think the only other one that came with the Wiimote were Wii Play and Wii Sports Resort.
So this little medal up here, I need 3 of those to actually complete a level. If I have fewer, I have to redo the level.
But there are 5 in each level, so it's okay if you miss one.
That's true. So you'll notice sometimes I just randomly stop. That's me pressing the A button, and it allows me to just stop where I'm at and just continue on. It's very nice for when I'm trying to avoid hitting something. Specifically the dark spaces. And we'll see those in a little bit. Also, that cherry gives me a power-up if I collect 3 cherries. It loses time if I actually collect 3. So I'm actually going to avoid collecting them. And since I have 3 medals right now, I don't have to go after that number 3 block, which they are called number bumpers. Every single one of those contains a medal if you, like, actually get them down to 0. So just kind of waiting around, waiting for the screen to scroll. Welcome to the awful game that is Fling Smash. From a casual standpoint, this game is great. So this is one instance where you can actually lose time because the screen actually stops scrolling until you collect some of the keys. Now these red blocks, which are actually called red blocks, they just have a bonus attached to them. If you hit all of them, you get a combo and you rank up points.
You may have noticed he's got some stars as well. There's a bunch of stars throughout all the levels. There's silver stars, which are worth 1 point, and gold stars, which are worth 5. And if you can collect a total of 100, you'll get an extra life.
Now what does the B ranking mean there, Bitsy?
So the different ranks take you to different parts of the game. If you get an S ranking or an A ranking in all of the levels of a world, you'll get sent to either a minigame or an entire extra bonus stage. B ranking being the worst rank also saves the most amount of time from not having to play those stages.
So this is kind of a tutorial of the dark space. Inside the dark space, I can't fling myself willy-nilly. I have to use a special bat that May gave me. And I have to hit those numbers in a certain order, so obviously I have to hit 1 first and then 2. If I hit 2 first, it resets. And there's a certain time limit for these. Some of them are short, like 20 seconds long. There's another one that's 75 seconds long. And so I'm gonna do my darndest to try to not hit any of them during the run. And I made a big cheat sheet for myself to tell me how many dark spaces are in each world, so that I can kind of guess whether or not I actually need to get them. So this, in 1-2 here, there are 2 dark spaces, so I'm going to try to avoid them. Those are little gnat enemies. They don't do much of anything except slow you down. So there's the dark space. I'm going to avoid hitting him. Eventually he goes away. Alright. But that does take away one of my opportunities to collect this medal in this level. But as you saw there, I just collected one. So my next medal is going to be carried by an enemy. There he was. Alright, so here I collected 3 melons. It just turns me big, and I can smash things a little bit better. For every additional melon I collect, I get more time added to the timer. Alright, so I did get 3 medals. Now I just need to get to the end.
The big chonky boy.
Alright, so again, I'm gonna avoid this dark space. Alright, so that probably saved me some time.
Yeah, that's what most of this game is, completing the requirements about halfway through and then just sitting through the rest of it.
Exactly. It's kind of like Lego Soccer Mania, in that game you just get 1 goal and then play keep away the entire game. So just do one thing and finish the level/match.
You got a pearl.
And for those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Prnced. Sorry I didn't introduce myself earlier, but with me on commentary I have Bitsy __, also known as just Bitsy. I started off mostly as a Lego speedrunner. and I kind of branched off into other games as I had them. So like this one, I just kind of had this game and I'm like, huh, I wonder if I can speedrun it, and turns out you can, sort of. But
I started off as a Paper Mario speedrunner, actually, and then I branched into the Lego Star Wars genres, and that's actually how I met Prnced. And then I have since transitioned and am now a competitive Zooter racer.
What's Zooter?
Well, Zooter is the Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizers, most recently featured in Games Done Quick 2020 as a co-op race with Wooden Barrel and Ryuke. Or Rikaru. But it is where you take Ocarina of Time and throw all of the items elsewhere. But it's super fun and less auto-scrolling.
You mean there are better games than this?
Oh, of course not. I mean, how else could you have Pac-Man's Final Smash be drawn out for an entire 2-hour game?
Oh boy. Avoid! I should have gone down. Alright, so I just have to get past this goalie and then I can get that medal. There we go. So, this is kind of what it looks like. Things get distorted, I waste a bunch of time.
Better that than getting eaten by the Hydra.
Honestly, I probably would have been better off if I had gotten eaten.
Finish. You got a pearl.
Alright, so we completed the first 3 levels. So that's the end of the levels in World 1. We just need to face the boss now, who we have aptly named Huff and Puff. So here's where our pearls kind of forge together. Basically all we have to do is hit his backside, just don't hit his face because it has a big plate over him. I don't remember if Ominous says anything here. I don't think so.
May
Yeah.
does, though.
Yeah, May. Yeah.
You're up at one of the platforms surrounding that floating fortress. This place is scary. I sense something evil. You're at risk of losing lives in the face of this danger. Let's take care of this boss and get out of here as soon as we can.
You got it, May. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen. So it's really good if I get stuck back there, because then I can deal a whole bunch of damage and not have to worry about going all the way to the right side of the screen.
Like the rhythm games that you would see.
Alright, so that's our first medal.
We got that wombo combo.
Alright, so now we can get rid of all that and we can easily get this coin, or medal. Oh no, we missed one. It's okay, there are two more in this level. One of them is the dark space. If I miss him though, I have to get the one in with the key. Which this'll be pretty easy. Just kind of have to wait for these cannon cycles. Alright, so as long as I don't miss that medal, I'll be fine. Alright.
That's a frame perfect trick, by the way, guys. I love that shovel thump emote. That's that is beautiful.
That is pretty nice.
Now, with how awesome this game is, surprisingly, it got mixed reviews. Metacritic gave it a 48, but G4 gave it a 4 out of 5, and Game Informer gave it a 7 out of 10.
So this is the first vertical level that we're gonna see. They're quite easy.
This just feels like a big game of pinball at this point.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much pinball. The only thing we're missing is kind of flippers. Although we see some of them in the dark space.
That's exactly what the Wiimote's for. A perfect score, 5 out of 7, exactly. Game Grumps, they give it a 10 out of 10.
Well, I tried to avoid him. This just gives me some points, so I'll do my best to get it done quick. Alright.
First try.
So some metal or some dark space places actually don't give you medals, they just give you points. Or like there it gave me some stars. So that particular enemy would be one that actually carries the medal away. And later we'll see there are some medals that are just sitting out in the open, but some enemies come by and take the medal away if you're too slow.
You're too slow.
Alright, we don't actually need that medal there because we already have 3. Now, what level was this?
Is 2-2.
2-2.
They had ballerina aspirations. They couldn't find the right 2-2.
Alright, thankfully in the next level there are no dark spaces, so I can avoid those.
But you gotta watch out for the shielded enemies.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, shielded and... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say, we did get rank A, but as long as we don't get rank A in all of the stages, it's fine.
I kind of tested that on my last run too. Well, even if you get A rank in all 3 levels, it doesn't slow you down at all. It doesn't like tell you, hey, you got a new level. They just don't tell you about it at all.
But you definitely don't want to do the S in all of them.
So this is a shielded enemy. Basically hit them 3 times with a power shot and they die, or hit their backsides.
That guy gave me both Banjo-Kazooie and Crash Bandicoot vibes. I was looking through the wiki. Apparently, the first boss has a name, and it is Big Bad Blockfish.
Huh. I mean, it's
And
fitting.
it is. And apparently, the 4th boss is called Master Caster. It's weird that 2 bosses would get official names.
Well, I'm sure they all have official names, they just haven't told anyone.
That means hit all their bums for you big kids out there. Finish! New record!
For those of you wondering, I am 26.7 seconds ahead of world record. And there is a great possibility that I will end up getting world record.
Yo, back-to-back world records today. We saw the over the hedge world record just a little bit ago. Now we might be seeing it here.
Alright, what was the name I gave to the World 2 boss?
Geodude.
That's right. Because he's basically just a metal Geodude.
Strategy. Hit him from the back.
So, yep, there he is. That is Geodude. He kind of got an upgrade.
If Magnemite and Geodude had a Pokemon baby.
So you can kind of stun lock him for the first phase. Unfortunately, there is more than one phase, so he gets rid of our cannons now.
Why he thought having them there in the first place was a good idea, I'll never know.
He probably didn't even put him there.
He clearly has aspirations to be a good tennis player, though. See, he's just not having a good day. He woke up this morning and was told to go steal some power pearls. It'd be easy peasy, and then this little yellow Tic Tac comes and just beats him up.
There we go. That's the boss.
And now we're going to take a break and go to Sonic Adventure 2 because we're going to Engine Room. And Ominous does come in to give the player a little bit of, you know, words here. Still trying to defeat me? How novel. I'm afraid it's the end of the road for you, my little friend. You've bounced your last. Allow me to take the spring out of your step. Now, my underling, use your powers to make metal of this meddler. Things are looking heavy for you now. You'll never get out of here.
So now we really become a pinball. He just turns us to metal. So that little underling, he's pretty much Baby Bowser. So now I just fall faster, don't fly as high. It's like I have higher gravity turned on.
It's Metal Cap Pac-Man.
But now I don't need any power shots to break through the blue blocks. I can just plow right through them. Alright, well, I missed my first medal there. I'll go for this one. It's fairly easy. So there, instead of pressing A, I just hold A and it counts the time faster. I think that key just unlocks that top area and doesn't really do anything other than potentially give me more points. Alright, so there's my second medal. There's my third. Alright, so that's that level. So, to kind of hit on how important it is to actually collect 3 medals in a stage, if you fail, you lose about 3 minutes, 2.5. So, like, in my PB, I lost about 3 minutes, 2.5 in this level, just because I didn't have enough medals at the end. So now I'm over 3 minutes ahead of world record. So this level is actually pretty easy because they give us these magnets to clamp onto. Unless you kind of ignore them. The stars kind of tell you which one to go into, so the gold stars were on the right, so I knew, okay, I wanted to go on the right side there to collect a medal. Alright, so now we're out of the vertical portion of this. We can kind of just go as fast as we can now. Try to avoid the melons. We don't need to turn big here. Alright, 1 level left in World 3. And there are... There's 1 dark space in this world, or in this level. And it's the last one, so if I miss 2 of these medals, I'll have to do the dark space. I think I want the top side here. Yep. Because that'll give me a medal here.
So how did you come across this game, Prince? Was it just something you had growing up?
Yeah, my parents had bought this game for us just because I think they thought it was going to be a cute game, good for kids, and it is. It is a good game for kids. But it's kind of a bad game overall. I mean, it's just like beat these couple levels and that's about it. I'm going to try to get that medal first. Oh my goodness. There we go. Then I can get the key.
Easy time save for the next world record.
Well, so far I haven't failed any levels, so I'm sitting pretty already.
Oh yeah. And there's our 3rd medal.
And here's
So now
our
we can
dark
avoid
space. Just keep bouncing around over there. time for the World 3 boss.
I hope you have your meal tanks ready, because it is time for roll out.
I almost changed the unofficial name to Milk Tank instead of Rollout. But there are no cow-like features to this boss, so I just figured Rollout's pretty good.
That's fair. Also, I looked at your unofficial for the 4th boss, and yeah, we're going with that over Master Caster.
Oh yeah.
100%. See, that just looks like an Electrode who's just not having a good day.
So you can just kind of knock it off the stage, dealing a couple extra damage. And it's quite easy to do. Alright, so now he gets a helmet, so it's going to be a little bit harder to hit him.
Now
When he
he's just a
jump, yeah.
Robocop wannabe.
When he jumps like that, it's really easy to knock him off because you can kind of get under him.
Him falling off actually takes a decent chunk of health out of him.
Right? Alright, so that's my first stuff. And it just resets the clock up in the top right corner.
It was an intended death. It's RNG manipulation, folks.
100%.
And here comes the final hit.
There it is.
There we go. So Ominous isn't that bad of a guy, you know. Next up, he's gonna invite us over, you know, to his beach house. It's a nice little area. But then, you know, he's gotta come and say some rude stuff. I see you've managed to make it this far. What an unpleasant surprise. But don't get too cocky. Your little adventure's about to come to an end. I'm going to have to downsize you. Please don't take it personally. Oh, and that super shot of yours? I don't think you'll be needing it anymore. Strike, minion! Use your magic to miniaturize this twerp. Not such a big shot anymore, are you? Adieu.
Alright, so we are no longer metal. And we were just gonna ignore the little minion, and he's getting frustrated with us, so he puts his magic on us, and now we are about a quarter of the size we were. So, like Bitsy had mentioned, we no longer have our power shot, so we can't break the blue blocks anymore, and it's gonna be a little tougher for us to break the green ones. So it is a little difficult to get through here. And so, since I took too long, the little minion there took the metal away from me. So I'm actually going to grab these this grape power-up because that'll actually help. The grapes give an explosion bonus. And we'll see that in a little bit. I'm gonna avoid this dark space because it doesn't actually give me a medal. Alright, so now we've got grape shot / fireworks, and that allows us to grab that medal that was behind the wall. And I just grabbed an extra grape from one of the minions, so I had an extended time. Alright. And this is just about it for this level. They're nice enough to give us a cannon for each of these mini levels so that we can actually power our way through these. I don't know why we just don't go around everything. I mean, it would make everything so much easier.
Right?
Oh no, I got an A rank.
Oh no.
Currently, any percent is the only category for this game. But I've considered adding other categories such as like all medals, all S rank, or like all levels, which would include bonus levels. So that jump switch that I just hit is really nice for these levels where you can, where you're kind of small. Okay, so I missed the thing there, so I can't actually get that one medal, which might be a problem. We'll see.
Other medals that we can get.
Alright, so I did get my third medal there, so we're all good. Just gotta get there before the enemy. Oh, so yeah, that's a new gimmick in this level, is the rail systems. They're only available for when you're mini.
Sometimes you want to make sure you avoid certain rails over others.
That's true. Another A rank. One more and we unlock the bonus level.
No.
But remember, they don't cost any time if we actually get it.
And if you get the high score, you can submit it to somewhere like Twin Galaxies.
Alright, so I kind of took too long on that one. I'm actually gonna go for this just in case, because I don't want to have to worry about missing one of the other ones.
Especially since 2 of the remaining are on number 4 number bumpers.
Right. Alright, so I think this is another one that would get taken away if you take too long. But I could be wrong about that.
According to the notes, it looks like it's only the first one that gets taken away. I mean, we're speedrunners though, so we're still, you know, we gotta go fast.
So I'm actually going to go for the cherries here, because they could help us out.
It definitely helped out. The number popped up on the screen, and that was number file, ladies and gents, if you have that on your bingo cards.
So there I just ignored one of the medals because it actually saves time to not get it. And thankfully, since I didn't miss, or since I got 3 medals here, I am actually saving over, well, a little under 2 minutes to PB here. So I'm over 5 minutes ahead of world record.
And we got all the A ranks. And we got 69, almost 69 again.
Nice.
And technically it was, because 4 and 5 equal 9, so that was 69, 69.
Alright, World 4 boss. And we nicknamed him...
Shocky Boom Man. If you get that reference, you're cool.
I don't even remember how I came up with this. Because I just had it in my notes one time. I'm like, oh, that kind of fits.
So what you want to do here is he's going to be throwing down some moving blocks at you, and you just got to avoid those, and then come hit him. He's just playing some Tetris with you.
Not entirely sure how I got out there. I don't know exactly where I was. So it doesn't really matter where I set myself up here because it puts me in the same spot anyways. Alright, one more of these and then he turns to his phase 2. So I've had to get out of there quick, otherwise it would have shrunk on me like that. Alright, well... there we go. Alright, phase 2. And now he's just going to be, like, pushing blocks at me. So I just need to get behind him. Just about here and just go up and hit him while he's doing these.
He becomes that one main boss from Star Fox whose name I can't remember. Who just shoots tiles at you.
Alright, so that's that boss.
That now puts us at the halfway point, everybody. So now we're heading down to the ocean pier. Yeah, everyone's favorite type of auto-scroller, water auto-scrollers.
And these are on top of the water. There's another world where we're going to be under the water. So we really have to be careful for the stopwatches in this. because those really slow down time and, well, they literally stop time. And we just sit there until it times out, and it's... I think I timed it to be about 6 seconds per stopwatch.
Do you know how many stopwatches you hit in your PB?
I do not. That's actually a different cutscene. On Zip's version, he actually hits the wall and then continues. Also, we are no longer small, so we got our power shot back. Alright, so that's a stopwatch. That's what we want to avoid.
Oh, that was close.
That was incredibly close.
Can we get some Monka S's or Monka Omegas in chat?
Get a clip of that, send it to Glad Jonas.
Top 10 closest moments in speedrunning.
Alright, so I'm avoiding that stopwatch. I already got my 3 medals, so I don't need to hit the number bumper.
Unpoggers. That is a very unpoggers feeling that emote gives me.
Alright, so that does save time to PB also. We'll see by how much here in just a second. I split on when it shows you got a pearl. So I saved 20 seconds there.
So you probably hit 3 of those stopwatches, which I think was all 3 of them.
Sounds about right.
PogChamp free time save. Let's go to Pip's wiki page. Pip is from Eastern Island. When she hears about all the trouble going on at the other island, she comes to fight with Zip.
Alright, so there's a
However,
stopwatch.
Zip has a whole ass page about him. Pip is jolly and good-intentioned fellow who is always ready to help those in need, except when he's trapped in a box. He is almost never seen without a grin or a smile on his face and holds an overall positive vibe to him. He shows determination and hope in any situation and will never give in without a fight. So it's Rock Lee and Pac-Man with Bowser Jr.'s hairstyle.
I don't know if I got that medal. I think I did. Somehow, off screen, I got it.
Nice.
Arr.
Time stop. So, you know, if you're going for high scores in the game, those stopwatches would help, but
Yes,
we're
they would.
speedrunners. We like to go fast.
Oh, so I got the apple, which means I get power shots on every single one of my flings. I don't have to wait for myself to charge up for it.
Here comes the end of the stage. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You got a pearl.
So I must have missed that stopwatch in PB because I lost 5.5.
Now it's time for the last stage in this level. Now this time it looks like we're going to be actually hitting the stopwatches for a couple of these medals if you grab those.
Yeah, likely will grab them just in case.
Having a great time, Strawberry.
So these lower the water, so which allows me to grab that. Perfect combo.
You win! Perfect.
I didn't intentionally hit that one this time. So there you can see.
Say goodbye to that medal, though.
Yeah, you could see I was trying to hit it, but I just couldn't. This one I don't think I need to hit in order to get the medal. It's just a lot easier if I do. I'll grab the power shot here just in case. Hoppa!
Bah.
Alright, grabbing my third one here. As long as I can get underneath. Alright.
So what happens if you're under the water when or under like that platform when the water comes back up?
I have no idea.
And then there's another swag medal. You got a pearl.
Alright, World 5 boss. I'm actually curious what the chat thinks this boss's name is. We'll see it here in just a second.
Chad, if you had to name this boss, what would you name him? So we've got Flop, Greg, Xander, Krabby, Cragshart, and Orc Crab.
So the name I gave it was Mecha Kingler.
I can't do the little bubble sound. Thank you.
So this stopwatch actually helps out if I can hit it. Which apparently I can't.
Notes. Attack body. Avoid claws. So apparently Mecha Kingler exists outside of time and space because he was able to move during the stopwatch.
You got rid of that for us. Oh, that's interesting.
What is that?
I killed the boss and hit the stopwatch at pretty much the same time.
Nice. We've Guild Master wishing you luck, Prnced.
Thanks, Guild. Alright, we are 5/8 of the way through now.
Let's go. We avoided the big meaty claws. As we now go over to breezy treetops. The gimmick here is wind currents. Now we are going to have to get all of these medals in this first 3 that we see if we don't want to do the dark space. Because there are 2 dark space medals this round.
If I remember correctly, they are not difficult to get either. It's left side, right side, then the middle. And it's kind of denoted with those stars there. Oh. Go up the left side. There it is. Then head over to the right. The right. And then the middle. Easy. Well, couldn't really do much there. But,
at least it wasn't that long of a dark space.
Right. 4.54 seconds plus whatever time I spend here. Now I just need to avoid the other one. So I'm kind of trying to stay back a little bit just so I don't get caught by the dark space. So there he is. Whew. Kind of got lucky there.
Yeah. Hydra's hungry.
Alright, no dark spaces in the next one. And it looks like 2 of them get carried away by enemies. Alright, and we've already got 3 medals, so we don't have to worry about collecting any more. Just let me through! So had I collected all 3 of those keys there, it would have cost me a little time. So I'm kind of glad I already have the 3. And kind of just fly through that level. Alright, looks like we got a couple of number bumpers coming up. And at least one of them gets taken away by an enemy if I'm too slow. I'll also need the cherries to get this first medal. Probably did that a little early, but oh well. Alright, easily got it. Alright, and we got our third one, so now we don't have to worry about getting any more.
After this, we're gonna have to face an entire esports team as we're facing against Cloud9.
This was also a name I couldn't come up with a better one on.
I mean, it makes sense, to be honest. So is it possible to not be able to break through that last barrier of blocks?
No, you always have a possibility of doing it. When you're miniature, they always give you a cannon, and if you're not miniature, you just have to do a power shot. Alright, for this boss, it's kind of like playing the shell game, if you're familiar with that. Where they kind of have like 2 or 3 different shells and they mix them around and you gotta guess which one the marble or coin is under. This one you have to guess which one is the real boss. So it's the one that shines there, so he's on top, bottom, top, bottom, top. And you'll see I can only damage that one. If I hit the other one, it just kind of does nothing.
Probably is one that could take the name Huff and Puff.
True. Alright, so now he splits into 3. He's the middle. Top, middle, bottom, middle, top. I don't know if it's better to do short shots or super shots on him. Oh, a little unlucky there. Unfortunately, I get knocked out. Just like 1 or 2 more hits. Just the one.
We were 1 star away from an extra life. And now we go to the actual underwater levels.
It does look like there is a dark space medal on this. First one's carried by a shark, then I have to hit the bottom key, then it's the dark space, and then I think there's one on another top key. And then there's one sitting in the open, and it's taken away if the enemy is too slow. Or if I am too slow, the enemy takes it away. So it turns out we can breathe underwater. Alright, there's the first one. Bottom key, I think. Come on, there we go. Alright, so now it's the dark space that I luckily avoided. So I don't know if there's an actual medal up here. I've never taken this route before. I just kind of assumed that there was, and there is. And these apples will definitely help us get through here. The only thing that would have helped us more would be a gem switch. Alright, getting through this part is really difficult. Yay!
You got a pearl.
I don't remember if there are any more levels that I failed, but I am currently 6.5 minutes ahead of world record.
Let's go.
Alright, looks like there's one dark space in this level. I think in this level, the hydrocoils try to eat you more so than other levels. Yeah. Because they just go behind you and start sucking in the water.
It reminds me of Balloon from The Wind Waker.
True. He's got the same color palette too. I'll get the cherries here. Alright, so that's 2 medals.
Do the one under the enemies or do a number buffer?
Alright, so that's 3. Now we just need to not die to the hydrocoils. So many. Well, as long as we don't die 9 times, we'll be fine.
Tina, what happens if you do get a game over? Losing
I haven't.
lives?
I have no idea. I've never experienced one. I am just gonna let that one sit there.
Yeah.
All it does for me is get me more points, so no reason to get it.
Stinking medals. A lot of these are Pokemon boss names I've noticed now.
Yeah.
Were
I'm.
you just on the Pokemon binge when you were coming up with these?
I couldn't come up with anything better.
I mean, to be fair, they've all been accurate.
Oh my goodness. There we go.
Was it? It's suction in the first seven level?
I don't think so. But there could have been, and I just didn't notice. Well, kind of got unlucky there. That's fine. The screen still auto-scrolls while you're dying, so...
Well, that's good.
Alright, there's our third medal. So if you like being lazy during your speedruns, this is a great game for you.
You need that singular arm workout. This is also a good game.
I was kind of thinking, this is kind of like the Wii Golf, or the Wii Sports Golf speedrun, except it's less precise.
Then again, some of the recent developments in that were pretty insane. Like, getting as high of a score as you can in the first holes, so that you have easy pin placements in the later holes.
Right. Alright, we are on to our last regular boss. Let's do it. Hashtag not sponsored.
This is sponsored by Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Not to be confused with actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf, because that's a Shia surprise.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Brandishing a knife is Shia LaBeouf.
Alright, so what do you guys think this boss's name is? I mean, you could do something like Fish Face, or I don't know. What's the fish from Super Mario World?
The Cheep Cheep.
Is that the one that eats you too?
He's just a big old Cheep Cheep.
He's a
May
mama
have an
Cheep
actual
Cheep.
name, but I don't know. The only Cheep Cheep I know that has a name is the very awkwardly named Sushi from Paper Mario.
Oh, right. He's got an iron mask, so... Iron Man? Iron Fish?
Shia LaBeouf. I mean, that kind of looks like Shia LaBeouf wearing his paper bag. I could see it. I just don't see the knife being brandished. Brandished. I don't know how to say that word.
Alright, somehow got eaten there. That's okay. One hit, the boss was dead.
First try. between villains at this point, then. Lego Batman was such a good movie.
It was. All right.
Now we've made...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just
gonna
saying.
say, we've made it to the Thundercloud Fortress. So ominous greets ya. So you've made it to my aerial fortress. I would praise your reckless bravery, but you haven't survived my most sinister challenges yet. No more games. Now you will see the full fury of my fortress. Kinda went a little Palpatine there. Foolish boy, now you shall experience the full power of the dark side.
So we got 2 somewhat normal levels, and then a third one which has, I think, 3 phases to it.
See, what do while alive for 2 seconds. Alright. Wait, Desperate Housewives has a game?
Dude, I just found out that Grey's Anatomy has a game. For
See,
the
that
Wii.
would make sense, though. Like, you know, you could do doctor shit with a Grey's Anatomy game, but Desperate Housewives is a drama about housewives.
I mean, we just had one for iCarly, so...
That's fair. But then again, you know, with Gibby being the international war criminal that he is...
There's video games for game shows, but that's kind of more understandable.
Yeah, like, you know, our buddy Real Leaf Apollo, he speedruns Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, and Clue.
Alright, so I'm gonna miss that number bumper. That's alright.
We can still either get the Dark Space or the last one from the Shielded Enemy.
Alright, so it's all gonna come down to the shielded enemy. Taking a risk here.
I would say get your Bless RNGs in the chat, but that's not a thing anymore.
Got it. Whew.
Got him!
Coming in clutch.
Let's get some hype in the chat for that, folks. We have yet to have to repeat a level.
So there is a possibility that I'll need the metal or the dark space in this level, but I really want to avoid it because it's a really long one. If I like, I'll spend a lot of time in it.
this point, Ominous is looking pretty sus. I think he's the imposter. What do you think, chat?
Alright, that's medal number 2.
We have 2 more number bumpers.
This one I think I said I needed the cherries for, or maybe that was the next one.
It could be the next one.
Alright, well I got the cherries anyways. And it's likely I'll... Yep, okay, so I don't need it anyways. I just need these guys all on different levels. There we go. And that'll allow me to get this.
We keep getting that wombo combo for them cherries, too.
Alright, avoid this at all costs. Yes!
Oh!
Holy
Oh.
smokes! I'm saving a good minute on that just because I missed the dark space.
How ahead are you now?
This will be about 8.5.
And what's world record?
2 hours, 32 seconds.
So we are almost sub 150 pace, folks.
Best possible time right now is a 1:51:36. But then again, this is my 3rd completed run ever, so there still may be some time.
So 8-3 gets a little tricky, as there's a bunch of things that happen in it.
It starts off normal, then it gets a little crazy. And just like any good game, it just brings back stuff from other levels. So we'll see the metal again, we'll see the shrink again.
And at this point, the big bad comes in. Still here? How very tenacious of you. You just don't give up, do you? What can I do to hinder you further? Let me think. Aha! If you think you can keep going, I'll be waiting for you.
Alright, so here's where we get turned into the metal ball. And Ominous actually does his own work and doesn't rely on his underling.
Well, he can't. They're all dead.
Not yet.
That's true. I'll be waiting for you. This, I swear, in Evil Villain 101, they teach you all the bad puns.
Pretty sure they're all dads because then they all have the dad puns.
Well, look at Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's got his daughter. You don't see him making really bad puns. Ah, excuse me.
Alright, and I did get my 3rd medal, so I don't have to worry about anything else.
And you still persist coming after me. Can't you take a hint? I'm afraid you've reduced me to my last resort. Don't be so glum. I think this look rather suits you. And if you can make it beyond these clouds, we can have our final showdown.
It's the final showdown.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do.
Oh boy. Whew. Barely squeaked through there. So it's just kind of easiest to skirt here along the bottom.
Despite all of our setbacks, we have yet to come up short.
I'll take the cannon. Cannon sounds fast. I just need one more star and I'll have pretty much full hearts, kind of. I mean, I have 9 hearts already, but one more star and that's the max I can get. Also saving about a minute on this level too, because I didn't have to go to the dark space.
So now we're gonna go fight Ominous. And his monologue this time is, "You've actually made it all the way here. You are a worthy adversary. There's no way you can defeat me, though, so your efforts are sadly futile." I bet that hurt, but perhaps now you understand. See this dark barrier? It means you can't even put a dent in me, you see. It's pointless. Your hyperactive heroics have all been for nothing. Now sit still and observe as I drain the power from your great palm tree. Yo, Marathon Man with the party of 7 getting to see the final boss for Fling Smash. You see, it's pointless. Your hyperactive heroics have all been for nothing. Now sit still while I drain the power from your great palm tree. What? What is happening? What is happening to you? What? Ah! Too bright! My eyes! Where did you get that much power? Who knew all those pearls you gathered held such strength? Incredible! Impossible! Unthinkable! How could you break my dark barrier? But even that doesn't matter. You cannot stop me from stealing the tree's power. I'll smash you like a flea. Then, with the tree's power, I'll control the world! so in this first part of this first phase, we need to avoid all of the blocks and then hit Ominous.
It's quite easy, as long as you just go straight.
And there's phase 1.
Part 1 of phase 1.
And now, he just tries to get real grabby.
Ooh, I've never gotten one of these things in this boss fight.
Oh, it's come down to a split decision to see if you can beat him, I guess.
I've also never had it where I haven't ever gotten grabbed.
Nice, that's free time save, baby. Now, we're gonna move into phase 2.
Like all good Nintendo games, there are 3 phases.
So you want to avoid the blocks, the Hydra, and then hit Ominous.
Also, he always throws out these grapes, which are very awesome to use, just as long as I can get them. Uh-oh, got grabbed.
Ooh, grabbed. And now we could get another star to get another life.
I don't think there are any stars in the boss fight, though.
Aw, rip-a-roni.
Ah. Yes. Alright, so now I can do a lot more damage.
As everybody knows, fireworks are the best way to kill your opponent. It reminds me of that one Yu-Gi-Oh! Antagonist that did that tag team with the masks in Season 2.
I don't remember that.
They were
Alright.
battling on top of that tower. It was like loser falls to their death below.
I might know what you're talking about if I actually saw it.
Yeah. So now a small cutscene. Where you have defeated the boss. Yeah, it was the Rare Hunters, Vuvuzuela. Oh, what is this? The Hydra is grabbing the boss and sucking him up into the clouds.
And now I use polymerization.
This allows me to fuse your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon with my dead boss. Not so fast. You activated my trap card, 8 Pearls of Light. This allows me to say, you know what? Let's fight again.
So they are regenerating dragon heads. So every time
One head. 2 more take its place. Hail Hydra.
barely got that hit. Okay. The bottom one skipped its turn, I guess.
It just laid a face down card and ended its turn.
Weird. It skipped it again. Ooh. Unfortunately, I have to get the pearls back.
the pearls help from you from being eaten?
If I have all 8 of them, it knocks out all 3 heads at once.
Oh, nice.
So there, kind of knocked them all out. Alright, which one's going? Middle.
And time's coming up on the final hit here, right?
Nope, time comes up when it says boss level cleared.
Nice.
Or whatever the equivalent of that is. Alright. Unfortunately, we did not get the sub 150